welcome to the third episode of KTCG Radio. We're mainly going to be talking about dating and the insecurities that we have within dating each other, past relationships. That's mainly, and also just within ourselves, right? Just personally how we've dealt with it. But yeah, that's pretty much.
So we basically created questions for each other, and we had to basically think about what we were insecure and how that related to our relationships, to see how we've started and where we are going in our journey together as boyfriend and girlfriend. So would you like to go first?
Of course.
To ask me my question.
So Hamed, what was one thing you were worried about while dating me?
One thing I was worried about dating you, I think it was mainly like my finances. I know we started dating at the end of 2018. That's basically when I graduated college, and I had trouble looking for a job, and I felt like I wasn't being my 100% self. And it was literally like 1 year until I found like a good job. And so I was mainly working at Baruch, making enough, to like pay for dates, stuff like that. But I wanted to, at that time he was already working full time, making $60,000.
No, I wasn't doing that yet. When? The year?
Yeah, you started working
Yeah, in that August, September, yeah.
Of 2019.
Of 2019. Yeah.
So I took, I guess, the longer route, and it was pretty difficult because I just wanted to feel like I was equal. And at the time I didn't feel equal at all because I was making 15 and he was making a lot. And like the way society goes is like the dude has to be making more than the woman because he's the provider and stuff like that. So I had to wrangle with those thoughts a lot. So yeah, that was one thing I was really anxious about.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
You used that the whole
to this day, it's like
the same thing. I mean, I didn't at that time. I was just, because I was still in Baruch at that time, so I wasn't like. I don't think I was ever bothered. Like you wanted to be all extravagant. He was like, I want to do weekly dates. I want to take you here. I want to take you there, and I'm just like, it's okay. Like I didn't mind just sitting in the house. Like I didn't mind doing that.
I feel like I'm lucky to have someone like Gemise, but I don't know. I just felt like when she told me it's fine, I didn't think you were telling me the truth. I thought you were like maybe try to like save my ego or something like that, or like try to put the pressure away because in general, I just find that to be potentially unattractive for most people, especially for women. Like if a dude is not on an equal playing field or higher, like it was just hard to believe that she was okay with that. Yeah.
I mean, I understand that. I feel like my old self would have probably just been like, nah, I'm not with it. Like, you're not working, you ain't making no money. Like, what am I doing with you? But I think for the most part, like, I think one is basically the way I was raised. Like, my mother literally didn't want me depending on no one. And the simple fact that, like, how I grew up, like, not having any money, I was like, I always have money for myself. So, like, it's not like I was using your money or that I, like, needed your money, right? So it's like that kind of feeling there. And it was also one that I was like, one, I have this man, and I was like, two, he's educated. Like, he graduated from college, so, like, I'm not bothered by that. And I was like, because I've seen the past relationships that I've been in and stuff. And so I was like, he's working for it. Like, he really wants it. Like, you want to do better. Like, you want to use your degree. You want to get a job. But it's like, at that time, the angle, which is how it happens for some people. Some people
Mm-hmm.
come out of college and they have a job, and some people literally are sitting there waiting for something to come.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I always believed. I was like, you're gonna find something. Didn't I tell you that? I told you that multiple times. I was like, you're gonna find something. I was like, you don't have to be worried about that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you were so stuck on it, and I'm like, don't worry about it.
I was stuck on it because I felt like, I don't know, I was really superstitious, especially with being in an African household. Like, I thought I was just stuck because I was always getting accepted to jobs that were giving me like $15 an hour or $16 an hour. I wanted to move out because I was tired of living in my parents' house with their drama and their situation. And I feel like them fighting had a deeper effect in my liveliness, and it led me to a depression. And on top of that, not finding good, stable work with a livable wage, it was just too many things, and I didn't feel like I was doing it correctly, and I felt like I wasn't gonna move. And so actually moving out, finding a job, beginning of 2020, I was like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
it was really good. Alright, you can ask next one.
Now look at you chilling and everything. I thought you was gonna go back and
Feels
forth.
bad.
You're not gonna ask me mine.
Oh shoot, it is my turn. Okay. Have your skin disorders made it more difficult for you to show your body to me?
Initially, yeah. So I have keloids and eczema, which you already know of. And keloids are basically like inflamed skin, so it's a part of your skin and stuff like that. And the eczema is just a huge rash on your body.
Yeah.
I did have an issue like when doing that because I feel like every relationship that I've had to go into, I've had to explain what it is because of where it is on my body. So like for the keloids at first, they were on my stomach, so it wasn't that like huge of a deal. Like I just had to tell someone like, hey, I got piercings and didn't know I was prone to keloids, so that was just what happened.
Yeah.
And so that wasn't a big issue. But when they came onto an area that I had to that was basically related to me having to be sexual, it was like now I have to have this explanation of like, I'm a little taken aback because now I have to sit there and sit down with you and say, I'm hesitant to have intercourse with you or have sex with you because of these things. And like I hide them myself. Like I'm not really bothered, I'm not with one. Like I don't openly walk out and be like, yeah, it's there for my stomach. Yeah. And I mean like out in public, I probably wouldn't mind, but not for the other one in the other areas. And so like it was a little hard because I was like, is he gonna be like ill? Like what the fuck is that on you got boils on your stomach or boil? And it's like they're not attractive looking, obviously.
Yeah.
And like I feel like if you initially look at them, you'll be like, what the fuck is going on with her skin? Like that is what you would basically kind of aim at. The same thing with like the eczema, like you would be like, what is going on? Like, and people, and I'm pretty sure you've probably like seen it. Like I've seen people make fun of people with eczema countless times, and there's levels of severity of it, which at the time when we started dating, I don't think it was that severe. No, it was very minimal. Like I think it was a little bit on my hands, and that was it, and on my foot. So yeah, I was a little hesitant. I was like, and it's like hard having to explain it to someone, and then if you explain it to them, and then they go, oh okay, and they're like, okay, like very like not even in depth in conversation about it, and it's like, oh, so are they like disgusted by it? Do they not want to have a conversation about it? And I don't know, for me it was just like I'll hide my hands if I can, I'll hide my feet if I can, like I won't show those things. But I think what made it better was that like you asked me about it, you asked me like, have I tried to like make it better, or you've also like even recently with my hands being back to like how severe they've been in the past, you were just like, look up something and I'll buy it for you. Like just things of those things like that just make it easier. But in the very beginning, I was very hesitant. I was like, how am I gonna go further with this man if I don't tell him about these things? But yeah, that's just how it mainly felt.
I guess for me, you finished?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It didn't really take me aback seeing your eczema and keloids. Because I had I only have friends that had eczema and just weird looking patches on your skin. I feel like everybody has that because I was bitten by mosquitoes and I have a few scars on my skin and I had to come to terms with that as well. So just having unfavorable blemishes on your skin. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I have keloids or eczema, but these looked way worse in the past, and it's visible. People can see this, and I guess I was fortunate enough to not have people make fun of that.
Yeah.
Because they was just they literally look like open wounds. They weren't healing really well, and I didn't want people to think I had some type of disease and
You didn't want to leave me. Yeah.
But for me, with my small experience, I feel like it's not like you chose to have that on your body, and I just think that it's unfair for me to make fun of you. But on the flip side, I feel like if it was more severe, because I've seen severe cases, on TV, where people have really severe cases of keloids and then just has it over their face and stuff like that. I think that may have affected the way how attracted I would have been with you if you had a severe case of keloids.
Yeah.
But I feel and I'm not saying that that's a good trait.
Yeah.
That, I mean, it's about the human being, but I don't want to lie to you and say oh yeah, we would have still dated if you if you had real severe case.
Yeah, I mean
of keloids or eczema. But I feel like in general eczema is more manageable.
Depending on I guess if you go to a dermatologist, they know the exact because there's different types of eczema, and so that's where it becomes a little problematic because it's there's different ointments. There's the white one, there's the clear one. Which one is best for you? Yeah. But I think it's mainly what it is that I guess is you have to resist the urge to scratch at a certain point, and it's you can't. If something bit you, you have to scratch it. What else are you supposed to do with it? But the eczema is more manageable than I feel because that can be it's been clear at points places where I did have it, you probably wouldn't even know I had it there to begin with. But the keloids, forget that one.
I mean, with your case, since it was more manageable and since your body wasn't overthrown by keloids, I just felt it was fine. And it didn't really affect me because even though you think it was noticeable, even though when you're naked, when you get naked, of course I see it, but it's not as severe. So I guess in my mind I have maybe a limit. Maybe if it covered your whole stomach, okay, that would have been a different story, and I would have to get used to that.
Yeah.
But because it's almost little blemishes across your body, I feel that just adds to your uniqueness in a way.
I think that's so sweet. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have been at this point. I mean, if I were, because I mean, I'm still not 100% comfortable with them. I probably, my family probably knows I have it, but to a certain extent, not most people. I mean, I've never had to explain my keloids, and I've been someone's been criticizing me about them. People I've been in relationships with have touched them, they've it's there's nothing there, to be honest with you. But I guess for the eczema, it's it's kind of beware. because it's, it's not the most attractive. Like, it can get very dry, it can get very scaly, it can look, very unskin-like, basically. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm just glad that, you were accepting of my situations, because we wouldn't have been where we are right now if we weren't.
Yeah. I mean, the things that I've seen, this is like best case scenario.
Yeah.
In terms of like what you're dealing with and how severe it is. So I feel like if I can't handle this, like, then what's the point of me actually dating in the first place?
Yeah, I feel that one. Okay, that was nice. So next question, my turn. Did you think you could have had a successful relationship at the time?
When we first started dating, definitely not. I don't know. I've never really dated anybody before the age of 18.
Okay.
And so, especially in high school, I didn't date anybody. And so I didn't feel like I had the necessary skill set to be to not be, because I was a really sensitive guy. And during high school, I was still trying to find a way to like blend that in with my personality, or just find an equilibrium, basically. Because I've heard from a lot of dudes, you can be overly sensitive with women, and that's unattractive. So I was just like, I think it's time for me to like be introspective. And so, with my limited experience of dating people, and what I've heard from those past relationships, like I still had gripes with my sensitivity, and I felt like at this point, if my sensitivity didn't waver at all, maybe it's just a part of who I am. And so, if a lot of the women I'm going to date don't really like how emotional I can be, then I'd rather just be single. And so it was during college where that idea really came into mind. Like, I was really prepared to just be like a single guy the rest of my life. And coming to terms with that, like, it wasn't that bad of a thought. Like, single people aren't like outcasted, and they just, most of the money goes to them, so they can save a lot of money.
It's like, yep,
and they don't have to rely on anybody to like make moves. Like, if you want a vacation, you can just go on vacation. And like, I had really good friends too, so I was just like prepared to be that like cool single guy that's like, may potentially be wise, that wise old man, and just like, life doesn't have to be about just finding a partner. It could also be about finding yourself and who you are as a person. And I was willing and able to start down that path. So when it came to us dating, I was just like, wow, okay. I was just prepared for it to be like the past relationships. We're gonna date, you're gonna find out that I'm like an emotional guy, and then you're gonna want to break up with me. So in my mind, I was prepared, because I even told you about it and you got offended. I was like, what was I always saying?
You were like,
I've prepared for you to,
or I'm thinking, or like the thought has come up.
Yeah, the thought of you breaking up with me has come up. And I was just shocked to you being offended by that, because for me, I saw it as like a self-defense mechanism. I didn't want to get attached, and then when I'm finally comfortable with you, you come and slap me with like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. And then I gotta you're not gonna be there with me when you break up with me, when I gotta heal from that and fucking get out of my depression. And then that cycle was terrible, And for me, I was just, prepared for the worst. Especially since like the first 6 months of our relationship was rough.
It was rough already.
There was a lot of adjustments we had to make on both sides.
Yeah.
And it was pretty difficult, but you were literally the anchor of the relationship. You were like, we're going to keep working at it. And that, no one has ever told me we're going to keep working at it.
Mm.
People just gave up, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that was a problem. Like, it's fine to give up if you're
like
not into the relationship anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Rather not be bringing people down in your misery.
You know, relationships can get real toxic really fast if it feels like it's becoming forced to be together.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
so I was prepared for the worst, and then you came in and was like, nah, we're gonna work through it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. How you hit me with that? Yeah. But you see, and then when you told me that, and you was like, yeah, now you don't understand why I was like offended. It was like because I was bringing my all into that relationship. Mind you, I hadn't been in a real relationship I hadn't been in a real relationship in college. So like for me to be making this move, mind you, remember I explained to you that like you weren't a guy that I usually like allow to date. Yeah. And so that's why I was offended. I'm like, how could he be thinking about or be prepared for this downfall, and we're still here. Like I'm still here all in it trying to make it work. I was just totally confused. I was like, damn, I'm like every time I like give myself, it's just what can I do about that? And literally I think a big part of that was like me trying to like change your mind and let you know that I was like here, like I'm not going anywhere. And I still tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. So you might as well just get over it.
I just didn't believe that. Cause
yeah, you didn't. It was like this girl is talking some nonsense.
I just didn't think someone would be that passionate about a relationship that was barely working at the time. And so I'm like, where is this motivation coming from? Like, I don't know if it's something you saw in me or like, I just didn't know where you got that enthusiasm from, and I just felt like maybe you weren't being truthful to yourself, or maybe you just saw something I didn't see at the time. And so it was just really difficult to like believe in your words because of my past relationships.
Yeah.
And I just needed to know what made you held on.
Oh, you want to know?
Yeah.
It's like what made you hold on.
Or what was it during that time?
I think a lot of it was, well, I think in general, I'm just a person who just believes people just have, like, I see potential in people. Like, you know how they say, like, you're like, you've achieved something, and it's like, people say, like, once you've achieved it, like, that's it. No, like, there's just so much more after that you can possibly do. Yeah. And I think for me, it was, I don't know, we had a very good kind of, like, solid friendship before that. So, like, I feel like that was a huge part of it. And I was like, it's like, he's mainly, like, the things that you had, the things that we spoke about, like, I feel like there was a lot of changes in me in regards to, like, just the conversations we had or just the interactions we had. And, like, I was like, and then for a part of it, it was like, if you didn't feel that way, like, you wouldn't be coming over to my house most of the time to like chill and to watch movies or bringing me like little snacks, like Kit Kats and bags and stuff like that. Like, you wouldn't. I was like, I think, like, he wants this. I was like, and I think he knows he wants it, but his past is like making him not want to engage any further because it's like a fear that, like, I'm just gonna leave him out in the dirt. And so I was like, for me it was, I want him. I know he wants me, so I need to just, you know, make him see that. Yeah.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Yeah, and I cared about you deeply. Okay. Yeah, I think it's your turn.
So, continuing the conversation about like your personal image and your body.
Yeah.
Has shaving your body been a personal choice or a demand from other men in your life that you feel like you need to shave in order to be acceptable?
It's interesting. Okay, so I'll say, I feel like I started shaving, I guess, in middle school. And I think then it was a personal choice, right? It was like, it just made me feel clean.
Yeah.
Like silky, smooth body, like no hair. Like it was just everything to me, right? It was just everything. And it was like, it's also the simple fact that like, even in, like there's certain clothes you can't wear. Like no one wants hair. I mean, I don't want my hair like sticking out at the bottom of my leg while I'm having on like a pair of skinny jeans and, they're a little high. And so yeah, it was only, that was me. And like no one sat there and was like, yeah, Gemise, you should buy these products and use this shaving cream and do this to shave off the hair. Like no one, I just found out on my own what I wanted to use.
Yeah.
So like not my mother, like not my sister, not anyone really told me what it meant to do those things. I just kind of like just did it.
Okay.
So at that time, yeah, it was, I would say when I initially started, it was a personal choice. And I don't know, once I started like getting into relationships and, started being kind of like sexual and interactive, I think that it wasn't a demand, but I saw that it was something that was very favorable. Like it was like, it was very preferential. It was like, oh yeah, like you see it, and all of these other things that people have said. And I think for me, it wasn't a direct demand, like you should shave. Like no one outright came to me and was like, you need to shave right now. Like it was more so like, oh, you like this? Okay, so I'll just keep doing this. But, right? And so it's like, no one like demanded it of me. And it kind of took me a while to even get to a point where me just leaving my hair, like just to let it grow. I mean, cause that's what's going to happen. It took me a while to get to a point where I could do that and just, still be open and show my body in front of people and just, do whatever, like to leave it alone. Like, what is it? I think this past summer was the first time I've ever gone out with my legs that have hair on it. Like that was, you would never catch me outside before that doing that. But I think what it came from was the personal choice and then the emphasis of like, it was like every encounter kind of emphasized like, yeah, like this looks nice, like this is good, like this is what I like and you should keep it. Like it just, that was what I was hearing in my head. So I just kept shaving and shaving and shaving, and now it's just, I'll do it when I feel like it. And I mean, you've never had I don't think you've ever had a real problem with it. So I think that's probably why
I mean, like, for me, people have always said that I'm hairless.
There's no hair on your arms.
And
like
people never believe that I don't shave my arms or legs.
Ridiculous.
And so,
where did those genes come from?
I don't know. I think I've gotten most of my mother's genes. And I think my dad is pretty hairless too. Like he's not that hairy. He's never grown a beard. And so, I just never, those thoughts never came to my mind like, oh, she has to shave. I'm not going to lie and say it doesn't feel nice. Like smooth skin just feels nice in general. But I'm not ever going to force you to shave if it's not affecting your health. Because yes, hair does trap bacteria, especially in the pubic area. And I do my best to like trim down there when it gets too bushy. But if the hair is not affecting your way of life and your health, then I have never found a problem with it. Yeah, I just accepted your body to be your body.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's never really been in my head as a thing that you had to do. But I was just wondering if anybody's ever told you, like, you gotta shave because that's not attractive.
Yeah, no one, and that's the crazy part. Like, no one has, I don't remember or recall anyone directly saying it. I mean, I feel like one thing, like I guess around my family sometimes, they'll be like, if they see my legs, they'll be like, damn, Gemise, what's going on there? Like that, reactions like that get me like, like, damn, maybe I do need to go shave. If they looking at it like this, then whoever is outside of my family looking at this is probably going to be like, she going through something? Like, is something going on? Like, you know what I mean? But no one has really, and you know what it is for the most part that no one has really seen me in that natural state. Right? So that's also a good, like, that's also one thing. It's like, I came to a point where I was like, I just don't like hair on my body. Like, my arms, the underarm, any area of my, like, if I can get the hair off, it's coming off.
Yeah.
So I think it's just, no one has ever been able to make a comment on it, unless it's my family. Because, I mean, I'm walking in my house, like, you're going to see it. Like, there's no...
I don't know, with under armpit hair, I feel like people just leave it, and sometimes it looks like head hair under your hair. But like for me, as long as like the hair looks, manageable, it's not too bushy. Yeah, like a good trim is always, nobody's said no to that.
To a good trim?
Yeah. Like
what if I just want to leave it though?
And it gets that bushy?
What am I supposed to? Caveman was out here just letting it rip.
That's caveman.
Oh, so since now we have tools, it's okay. Like, we need to do something about it.
They didn't care.
So what if we don't care?
I guess that's it too. But I don't want to like hug you and then I'm feeling...
You feeling long hair?
I'm feeling long hair.
A year growth? A year of natural growth?
I was like, whoa.
That makes sense though.
Yeah.
But I think if people had criticized me for it at that time, then I probably would have had something to say about it. But no one really sat there and was like, you need to shave.
I mean, I feel like it goes with men too. If men compare, like, would you be attracted to men that have like raggedy, uneven beards, or like somebody that's like well cut?
Not raggedy, like well cut and trimmed
groomed.
and nice. Yeah.
Why wouldn't we say
it look neat.
Exactly? But when we say that to women, to just groom yourself, not like shave everything off, but even I feel like if a dude told a woman, "Oh, she got to trim a little bit," maybe that might come off the wrong way as well.
Yeah, but you know what? And I was thinking about this. It's like I feel like there's there might just be a certain way you say something to someone.
Yeah.
Right? Because some people don't take a lot of things like, oh, okay, they're just like, that sounds like it could sound like some indirect thing, like what he's trying to say. You know what I mean? So it's like if you express it in a like nice constructive sentence where it's like, babe, like, I adore, like you always say something nice and then put the other thing right behind it, to try to make, you don't want to come out and say, yeah, babe, you need to shave. It was a bit scratchy. I can't go down there and like eat you out because, you know what I mean? It's like you have to be nice about what you say because you're taking, like some people have very hard feelings and getting negative criticism about something.
Yeah.
That's just going to bring them back more. Like they're not going to want to do anything with you after that. They're probably just going to shave just for your well-being, but they're not going to enjoy shaving because they want to shave. But I feel like, and then the second part of it is just, well, I mean, you just probably won't take it too well. It's just,
I mean,
or the relationship you have with someone. You also have to take that into account as well.
Yeah. Like
my friends, I feel like if my sister, like I'll just tell her probably straight up because she got a hard heart, like I would just tell her how she feeling, whatever. But I feel like if you know that person is very susceptible to like crying or like getting emotional or just getting into that point, like you would consider saying it much nicer in a more gentler way, like not to kind of take them aback. I don't mind, I don't care. I love honesty. I mean, I'd rather you just tell me straight up than to be sitting there and beating around the bush. But not everyone is like that. So you just gotta ask them how they take feedback or like how they want to be told something. Yeah. I feel like that's the best way to go about it. Okay. Because I feel like people tell a lot of their preferences. They will, if you ask them. I mean, you've spoken, hopefully you were friends before that to know, or like you went through like a talking phase to get to that point. But like people share a lot of their preferences, indirectly and directly. Like just by the way they just move. So I think, thinking about that and looking into that and trying to figure out what they're trying to aim at, then you'll know. True. But if you were like, Jem, I think you need to just do a little trim. I'll probably be like, why? What's wrong with it? Because you know me, I'm just going to ask you what's going on. Like, why is it a big deal? And you'd be like, I think it would just look nice. I think it would just be good for you. Like give me a justifiable reason that's also, it's beneficial to you, but it's also beneficial to me. Like, don't think so one-sided about it. Like, you know what I mean? Don't go like, oh, this is just for my benefit. Like, okay, so what that got to do with me? that's just simply, that's just how I am. Like, it's like there's a mutual, that's a mutual beneficial relationship right there,
Okay.
A nice compromise, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. You want your next question?
Yeah, go ahead.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Have you had any reservations about your body?
I mean, with my weight, like I have man boobs and
I love them. Sorry, no.
yeah. I'm not. For me, it's like, why I gotta get, because there's fat dudes with no man boobs. Like, why I have to get man boobs, bro? And like, what makes them worse is like they're pretty like sensitive. Like, if they're out in the open, I just feel them on my body.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if I didn't have a sensitive chest, that would be, like, I would be okay with that. But it doesn't stop me. Like, in the house, I can, like, take off my shirt and then walk around like that because it's more comfortable for me.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, like, when it gets cold, I would need something to cover them to keep them warm. Which sounds so weird, but, like, it's true.
It's real.
But I can't go out in public and have these flopping around. Like, I can't have my boobs boopy. So, like, if we go to a beach, I would have, like, a shirt on. Because
Yeah.
And especially with, like, my tummy as well. And,
which I also love.
So, yeah, I'm just real self-conscious about my front torso. And so, but in a relationship, I just felt like my penis size was the main thing. Because I know I'm not packing. And, like, I know it's hard to believe because I'm black. And apparently
what do they say about black people?
All black dudes have, like, big socks, big underwear, baggy jeans.
The bigger the feet, the bigger the...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bigger the feet, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't fit that stereotype. And I was like... And, like, that stereotype, people are like, oh, when you watch too much porn, you become more self-conscious about that. But, like, it was even since middle school, dudes were, like, talking about penis sizes, and I'm like, I've always been self-conscious with that. I feel more comfortable watching porn because I know I'm by myself. Handling my Peter Weeder and, like...
Oh, my gosh.
Handling my Peter Weeder and, like, it's... Nobody's around, like, look at me. So, I feel like porn is a way for dudes who, are not fortunate enough to experience a woman's body, or if they're gay or, non-gender conforming. They're not either fortunate enough to experience another person's body and have that person touch their body. Okay. And so I feel like porn allows people to escape in a way, or like, find a way to get their rocks off and continue living their life. And like, cause it is difficult out here. And so yeah, my penis size was like really, so even to this day, I mean, I got more used to it. We even joke about it now. You even shrimp.
Because
you start thinking, you start talking a different language.
Because you said it first. If you didn't say it first, I probably wouldn't have been like a condoner or an agreeer. I'd probably been like, you know what, he really is a little bit, conscious about this. So maybe I should.
But you see how comfortable I am.
But you're very comfortable with it. Like you don't. The way you talk about it is like you don't care who is calling you that. Like you'll be like, you got the shrimp, okay, and. Like that would be you, and I'll be like, oh shit. Like, so he just
like, what else you got?
What else you gotta say? What else?
I got a job. I'm making money.
Even when I say it now, you'd be like, that's all you gotta say. That's all you gotta say, Gemise. And I'll be like,
I'll be linear when they ask us.
And then But since you already know that yourself, like I just be like, okay, so you don't really care about it. Like, you don't see me going around and talk about. I don't be like, oh, snakeskin. Like, nah. Watch your mouth when you talk to me about my eczema. Like, watch how you talk to me about my eczema and my keloids, okay? Mm-hmm. But you could you say it first. Like it's like you accept it before. Like you just accept it. Yeah. Like that's just something that's. And then I was just wondering, like with your body, like has anyone ever, for you to get to that point? I mean, you may or may not have had man boobs, when you were in middle school or like high school and stuff. But like
no, I was chubby most of my life. Yeah.
But did people for you to get to a point where you didn't adore, or I would say your body, or like it was mainly
my family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always starts with your family members.
I think that's true. Yeah.
Especially with your parents. My mom annoyed me with it. And so, my dad was more forgiving. Mm-hmm. But my mom always had, a comment to say. And, she, to this day, she wonders, why you don't really talk to me? Because you don't make me feel comfortable. You've been roasting me all my life. And I had to, find a way to cope with that.
Yeah.
And so, I think it was me finding a way to redefine what it means to have a shrimp,
what does it mean?
It just means owning your body, just being proud of what you have. Because Red Lobster doesn't sell unlimited shrimp for no reason, There's a reason why they sell it.
Why they sell it?
To support us.
That was a good one. I'll let you have it.
And so, if you find a way to joke about your insecurity, I feel like indirectly you become more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And then when you find a way to joke around with it, it helps you be more relatable to people who are experiencing the same thing. And that's why I'm a large supporter, and I feel like I'm one of the leaders of Shrimp Gang, Shrimp Nation. No,
you really be writing it all over.
Yeah, I hashtag it.
Yeah, I'm out in public. What about
me? Because there be Facebook posts that be like, yo, I can't. There was a girl, I forgot. She was like, yo, anything under 6.5735 inches is a shrimp. And I'm like, well, you can't even 6 inches of shrimp now? You can't win with these people.
No. You sound like that. But you know what I also think a big part of it is that being more educated about stuff. Because you're a grower, right? And I've never dealt with a grower. So I was like, what?
She says, what the fuck is that?
Don't tell that out to the public.
A dead baby bird.
No, I didn't. But
pennies.
But the thing is that it's you also, we get so accustomed to thinking that these people be having things hanging down the side of their leg that we forget that there's stuff that can be in its natural state and in its it's been basically not altered, but it's being triggered.
Yeah.
In a triggering state. And it's you have to think about that. So I think that's what probably made it oh, okay, so it's fine. But you're Shrimp Gang naturally, but not what is growing. Don't be telling that to the people, okay? You better be honest.
Another thing was because you've dealt with dudes that have bigger penises.
But I feel okay.
Well, what?
No, I was gonna say for the most part.
Yeah, and so because I've heard women are like, "Oh, I've dealt with bigger penises in my life. Mm-hmm. I don't see myself being satisfied with a smaller penis." And so with you, I don't know if I guess the case is different with you.
I mean, because you know what it is for for me, it's not I'm looking to date someone because of what you have. Because if you think about it, initially when you start talking to someone, you don't know what they have, right? You could be dating.
I know you gotta be praying though.
Yeah, you might hope a little. All I wanted was to make sure that I was satisfied. So if I could be satisfied, then okay. Because you can be satisfied from something that's what, like smaller, or like it depends on what people are doing at that time. And so I think that's like a big part of it, that you just have to realize what level, or like what the person, because you remember in the beginning, like we were just trying to figure out like just how to make it, just how we could both enjoy each other, right? Like, like just being true, like, you know, just figuring that part out. And I think that a lot of people don't get to that point of like talking about it, or like asking like, oh, how was it? Or like, you know, those specific conversations. They just get to, especially girls, like if you don't have no good dick, they be like, man, that shit was whack. Like, they go and tell their friends. They be like, his dick was trash and stuff like that. Like, in that case, you didn't even have a conversation with him. You was just like, nah, I don't want that. And if it's like that, then it can go by. Yeah. But, like, it's also about motion. Like, you can't just be pounding people all your life.
Yeah.
Like, you have to make it work. You got to try different sex positions. You have to do all of these things to make sure that... And that's only if you really want to.
Yeah.
Right? So, if you only really want to. But, like, that... And that's for me. Like, I'm just... It's not like I was out here like, yeah, let me get something that's just... I want to see it when I'm walking in the street. No.
Because I feel like you brought up a good point. Especially with women that are like messing with dudes for like maybe under 3 months or 4 months.
Yeah.
That dude, if his penis was trash the first time, he's probably used to messing with women one type of way.
Yeah.
And not really exploring the way your vagina works.
Exactly.
And like, how do you say his dick was trash if you probably wasn't leading him, you probably didn't tell him what turned you on, you know, what can make the dick better in the first place.
Yep.
And then you're saying that his dick was trash based on your 1 or maybe 2, maybe 3 experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And it's difficult because I feel like there's guys out there who want to put in the work.
Yeah.
And then it could be, you know, the first impression, okay, that dick was trash. She tells her homegirls. Her homegirls tell her not to mess with that.
Yeah, that's exactly where it leads to.
And then it's just like, yeah, that's it for that dude.
Mm-hmm. Because I think a part of it is like, a lot of people are like, girl, you got somebody who ain't giving you good. Like, it's just the satisfaction of it. Mm-hmm. Like, people fantasize about talking about, or like they really adore talking about dick at the dinner table. Like, I don't, or even if you taking shots at the, like, it's just going out. Like, it's always I feel like sex is always a conversation. Mm-hmm. Or like relationships in general. And then your girls like feed you this stuff and you're like, oh, okay, I'll just take it. But yeah, don't be out here you can say shrimp gang if you want, but
shrimp gang.
Okay. Yeah.
That's for all my shrimp holders out there.
Yeah. If she don't want you, just kick her to the curb. She's not worth it.
Oh my God. Okay, next question is, have you ever been criticized about your weight in your past relationships?
Yeah, I have. I mean, I'm not, let's just put it out there, I'm not what they would consider, like, you know, fat. I want to use yeah. Right? But
because fat people will probably like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I just want to put that out there. Like, I'm not, but I am bigger than what I used to be. Mm-hmm. So like I feel like by like middle school, like I was skinny. Like, I mean, pants probably wouldn't fit. I was slim in my waist and my stomach. Like, I was cinched, okay? Like, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, big boobs, no booty, which was fine. It was a little bubble butt, but you know. But I think for me, like, I was okay with that, which is why, like, I got the piercings and I was like, yeah, this is nice. This is how it's going. But I think in a little after, like, middle school, like maybe 7th, 8th grade, like, it literally started, my stomach started to really poke out. And I was like, where is this coming from? Mm-hmm. I mean, I had been eating the same stuff all my life. And, you know, it was, I think from then on, it got, like, harder. Like, it was like, I started to realize, like, in high school, like, well, for one, my father used to be like, where's the meat on your bones? And, you know, Jamaican man, Caribbean, he's like, where's the meat on my bones? But, like, I don't know where it is. Like, this just happens. Like, I probably just have someone else's genes, or like maybe I'll blow up, or in a couple years or so. Yeah. So I think for, like, with him, it was mainly that one thing. I don't think my mother never said anything. She always told me, she was like, oh, you'll get more like hips and stuff when you have a baby. And I'm like, okay, so I gotta wait until I'm pregnant to get some weight on my bones? Cool, no problem. But it was in high school with you know, who I was in a relationship with at that time. Like, the like fat on my arms, like, and you know I was eating bacon, egg, and cheeses every morning. Like that was the thing. Like corner stores right there. Why not eat them? Right. I'm trying to fill my stomach before I have to go into this darn building.
Good choice.
Yeah. What else you gonna get? I mean, that was just the classic. And so he used to make fun of my arms and be like, "Oh, you need to get that. Like, you need to work out and fix that or something." Like, it would always be. It would never be like, "Let's work out together." Like, you know what I mean? It would just be like, "You need to get that. Like, the fat on you." That, and then it would be like, "Well, that's because you know them fucking bacon, egg, and cheeses." Like, it would be like an insult. Like, it wouldn't even come out like it was something nice to hear. Like. And I'd be like, oh, okay, all right. And then it was the same thing, but like my stomach, it was like, yeah, that's all of this, all of these on the sides, your rolls and stuff. It would just be always an insult, like would never fail. And I think that's where, like, and also my sister, she calls me a damn linebacker. What the hell am I? Like, I don't play football. She's like, yeah, really broad, like arms, like you would play football. Like, what is? I don't even know what. So like, it's those little things that were like. All right, like, I don't like my arm fat, and like the more I look at it, I'm like, okay, it's not that cool. Like I don't mind my thighs being thick, I don't mind, you know, my booty getting bigger, but where the fat ends up going on the upper body, it just needs to stop. But that's literally how it just felt very like I'm very subconscious about it. Like even the shirts that I wear, like I'm like, yeah, you ain't putting that one on. It's like your arm can't even get up. It'd be like you wear a medium, but like your arm is just not getting in there. So you just need to just stop at that point. But I don't know. I feel like you've never really said anything about it. I don't think you've ever said anything about it. You've always been saying, yeah, I love this. The plumpness of your body, like because you was like, yeah, when you was skinny, it was just but you had a preference for like meat on the body, and then there's people that have preference for skinnier people, and it's like these people make you think twice about whether you want to eat a cupcake or you want to eat a bacon, egg, and cheese, or you want to eat this. Like they make you start thinking about these things. But you see me, I'll eat all the cupcakes in the world.
I be cooking and I be feeding you.
You do, and look where it's going. I'm not mad.
I mean, for me, I don't know. I don't think I've ever body shamed. Like really, there's women that are really skinny, like super skinny.
Yeah.
And that's not what I prefer.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's just most of the women of my life have been bigger. Mm-hmm. So I guess I don't know if it's like my subconscious that made me prefer that type of woman.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I just allow you to eat what you want to eat at any given time. Not that you gorge yourself, or not that I'll allow you to gorge yourself, but it's whatever, you know, eating just makes you feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. And I just am used to bigger women in my life.
Yeah.
Not to say that if you were skinny, that would be a problem as well.
I mean, I was pretty skinny. I was pretty much back at,
yeah.
Because I was I think a little before that I was having like a pretty bad, going into like a somewhat depressive kind of state, and I was losing weight because I wasn't like eating as much. Yeah.
I mean, there's pros for each type of body type.
Yeah.
But I just prefer women who have, you know, just seem to be more fuller.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't think I have to apologize about that. Like,
no.
Women can say they want taller men all the time.
Yeah.
Anybody under 6 feet is 5'3". Like,
yeah.
Y'all can disrespect us, but as soon as I say, I prefer bigger women.
Yeah.
Or, you know, chubbier women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't find anything wrong with that. I feel like we all have our like preferences of what we want based on probably the interactions we've had, or like, because I mean, if you grow up around, I feel like or it's like who you interact with. Like if you've been around a lot of like skinny people and that's all you've been encountered with, or you've had relationships with, I feel like your brain is just more accustomed to looking at them. Or if you've been around skinny people and you hear them fat shaming or you hear them body shaming people, like you're gonna, if you don't have it on your own, like, you know, intention to say like, no, that's not what I'm gonna do, like I still find that attractive, then you're just gonna be more prone to just wanting skinny people. It's just, I mean, I feel like whoever you been around.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that is what you'll just want in your life at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like even just the type of people you date, just in general.
Okay. But I hope I've never like made you feel like you need to be bigger in order to be appreciated.
No, I think the only thing was the butt. That's the only thing you come at me for.
I came at you because
you ain't come at me, but like.
I think because
you like asses, okay? So
yeah, I like asses.
You like asses,
and I think you internalized that.
I probably did. I internalized it a lot, so I'm like, clearly, like my booty ain't big, so it's just not like. I mean, it's growing, but it's not big. So I just be like, yeah, okay, like you like ass, but
I have a smaller penis than what you're used to. I had to deal with that.
Yeah, but
I didn't blame it on you. That's just the way your life has been.
My
You've
booty,
been blessed.
I'm not gonna be mad. My booty will get bigger, so I'm not worried.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's gonna grow.
Okay.
You've been touching it. It's gonna grow when it feel like it. You saying okay, like you don't know. Okay.
It's your turn.
So I'm gonna say okay. Follow your path. Okay. And leading into that, how does it feel to have your partner make more than you?
That's the most depressing thing in my life.
Yeah. All right, I'll let keep going. The most depressing shit is. Like, all right, keep going.
I mean, like, it's mainly because of the fact that she's making more than me. Not that because I'm a guy, I have to be making more than you. I do feel guilty in the sense of like, we split the rent.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get trashed for this, but I created something.
You're trash. You won't.
No, like I created something called equity. Equity payments. Mm-hmm. And so my idea was that since she makes, are you okay with like announcing?
Yeah, don't. I don't really care about.
Since you make like 60,000,
we need to start telling people how much we make.
Yo, there's some people I don't know.
Because they're shitting on us, okay? All right? Let it be known.
So she makes 60.
Yeah, I make 60.
During my first year of working at my IT company, I was making 43. That's because I'm like green, I freshly started. Mm-hmm. I had work experience, but not in that sense of like a hard IT experience.
Yeah.
So I was making 43. I recently got a raise up to 47, but it's still under 60.
We can still party.
And so it was difficult in the sense that I felt like I was cheating her. And so because I brought up the idea of you, like, equity, right? Mm-hmm. And you was like, if we split in something, it's 50-50.
Yeah, that's a hard
So my equity idea was we add up our salaries together and then we divide each other's salary to the total. So you get a percentage. So technically I'm around, 45% of our total salary and you're around 55%.
Yeah.
And so that probability would reflect on all the bills we paid, right? So that way I'm paying how much I can afford, at the same time save up money. So if anything goes wrong, we still have backup money.
Yeah.
Right? And so at first she was like, Hamed.
Why are you talking like that?
If we split in something, it's 50-50.
Yeah.
And I did not disagree with you. I was like, yes.
You didn't disagree with me.
You're right.
But you still wanted that equity.
The equity payment would allow me, it's not like I was being greedy with my own money.
Yeah.
But it would allow me to put my money in other places, save up for vacation, save up for dinner dates. Because I've been paying the dinner dates. We even make bets.
Because you've been losing bets.
I've been losing bets.
you got to get better.
And I had to pay countless of dates.
Yep.
Not asking her any money, not even the tip.
Nope.
And so I can pay my side of the money, right? But the equity was to allow me to have money to do stuff like that for you. That's on the other side besides just bill paying. Mm-hmm. And the equity was going to go both ways. Say, for instance, I got lucky enough to make 80 and she was still at 60, God forbid,
Yeah,
I would be paying more of the bills to compensate for her making less, because we're not making equal. And equity also means if we're making the same amount, hopefully 65-65, we go down 50-50. But she was not receiving that.
I wasn't receiving it well.
Yeah.
But you want to know why? It was because for me, I had always I don't know, and I feel like this is worked hard. Like I went through too much shit in my past life, and just as a growing up, that I was just like, hell no. Who do you think he is? You want to pay lower rent than what I'm paying? And it was like I was always a very forget that I was equality. And that was where my brain was at first. And then so when you first hit that, you was like, I just want to talk to you about something. I'm like, what the hell do you want to speak about now? Always talking. And so, but when you first brought it to me, I was like, nah, that don't make no sense. I said, so what am I supposed to do? Where's my money going, right? And I was just stuck on it. My brain couldn't. And you brought it up a few more times. You would just, because you was like, what don't you get?
Because she hasn't.
He was like, what don't you get? What weren't you under? What are you
I was
not
trying
understanding?
to explain to her.
Yeah, you was explaining it. And I was just like, because maybe when you first initially told it to me, my brain was just 50-50. I don't want to know what numbers and percentages you coming up with over there. And so I think that was the big part of it. But I'll be honest with you and say, it hasn't made a huge difference, to be honest. I'm still saving quite enough of money. One, I'm not paying as much as I was when I was living by myself. I'm pretty, my finances are in a pretty good state, even with us being in an equity-based kind of, what do you want to put? Equity-based relationship, I guess.
Equity-based,
or just
financial relationship.
Yeah, the equity. Yeah, that's basically I have not had any drawbacks to it. I've been pretty well off. As long as I'm not spending lavishly, I'm pretty good.
And on my side, I've been able to save up some money, buy gifts for her, show my appreciation in other ways because I was able to save an equitable amount of money.
Yeah.
Compared to if I was paying something fully 50%.
Yeah.
Which I'm almost there. I even adjusted the percentage a little bit.
Oh, you did?
So you remember you was like, oh wait, that's because 45% of the rent was going to be below 1,000.
Yeah, and I was like, that's too little.
That's too little. So I was like, you know what, I'll increase it.
So you did increase you did increase it, yeah.
Yeah, so it was just, even though it's not complete 50-50.
You're still doing...
I did increase my contribution to, better make her feel comfortable about the situation.
Yeah.
So it's not like I was hardball, but, it was a situation where, I just wanted to see what she would say. And I was willing and able to pay directly 50-50, but I just knew it was going to be harder on my wallet because literally...
Yeah, to just do anything.
Yeah, exactly, because that would have been my whole check for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then...
I think that's when it would have just become toxic.
Yeah.
Because, people aren't happy when they can't spend money that they want.
Yeah, I can't really splurge like that.
Yeah.
And so with that equity-based financial relationship, and I implore you guys to try it out, not to force your partner, but to bring their...
That's an idea.
Yeah, as an idea, if you're making less than your partner and you want to save some money, see what your partner says,
it might initially come out saying what I say, but...
It might sound crazy at first, but...
At this point, you just got to explain it very well.
If your partner, truly cares about you and truly... wants to see you do better.
Yeah.
Explain the situation.
Yeah.
And that you want to save more money. This idea may sound crazy to some of you, but I feel like this is the true testament of how strong our bond is.
Yeah.
If we're able to talk about money and then, not have it affect our relationship like that.
Yeah, because I think... Because we were planning, we were going on a lot of dates. Before COVID, we were going on a lot of dates, movies, eating, it was just a whole lot of stuff. And I think that if we had done 50-50 now, I mean, there's COVID now, so we're not really doing much. But I think if we were, you wouldn't be paying for any dates.
Yeah.
Like,
or you would probably see it in my face. I would be like,
you'd be like Jem, I can't. Or you'd be asking me like, can you just cover like the tip? Can we go half and half? Like, it would be something that's like geared.
And I know that's not sexy for the most of y'all. Like, imagine me just be like, can you cover the tip?
Can you cover the tip? Yeah,
So
stuff like that. But I mean, after a while, like I guess it's also how you think about where your relationship is going. Like, I don't mind because I know I'm getting married to this man, okay, so I don't mind. Like, this is a journey, and so I feel like, you know, like, it's not the situation when I agreed to go for the equity based. I felt like it wasn't only beneficial for you, like for you to obviously sustain your own money and stuff like that, but it was beneficial for us and me and our relationship.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I wouldn't want him being sad and, you know, not wanting to like go out or do something.
Yeah.
Just because, and I know what that's like. Like, you don't have any money in your pocket and you want to go out and do something, or like, even if we were hanging out with our friends and you were like, nah, Jem, I can't go because I can't buy nothing, and I'm like, oh, I got you. Like, no, you don't want to always hear that. Like, someone got you. Like,
yeah.
Like, you don't want to hear that.
You know, pay for myself and stuff.
Yeah, like you want to be able to do that independently, which I'm like, I had no problem with. And I mean, it's what we've been doing, this equity base for a few months now. Yeah. Yeah, and it's been going pretty well. Yeah. I can't lie about that. So I mean, girl, if you initially withdrawn by it, don't be afraid, okay?
And you know what else you can do to, like, you know, sweeten the deal? Like, I cook around the house, I clean. Like, I do most of the chores.
Makes me
and
smile.
She doesn't have to. So
throwing a little extra there just to,
you know, throw a little, you know, more of like, you know, hard work, you know.
Yeah, but you
sweeten up the deal.
But that like comes in with the whole like gender role stuff, because it's like, if some people will probably be like, I'm not cooking or like cleaning or nothing. True. There's probably a lot of people that are like that. But like, I feel like that'll ease the situation a bit, because I feel like a lot of people, when you get into those conversations, they're like, so what are you going to be doing? If I'm paying this much of the money, what are you going to be doing? What you think I'm going to be cooking, cleaning, picking this up and paying that bill and doing
paying more rent?
Exactly, and paying more rent, right? So it's like, you have to be very open and honest and transparent in your conversations with, you know, your partner and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But thank you for being open-minded.
Yeah, I try.
All right, your next question is, you like to be outspoken. Like, that's how I met you. You were the outspoken person, right? But in a relationship...
Why are you laughing?
Your emotions were difficult to present and express. And we almost broke up because of that. Because
emotions,
and not being open, and I perceived it to be, you know, you were more open on social media than you were with me. Okay. And so why do you feel like that has been your story?
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to go back to that moment. We'll be back and forth about that all day. Yeah. But we'll come back to it. I feel like for me and my emotions, like, I always felt like when I first initially like came out into the world and I'm just, you know, like being me and being Gemise, like I was a very sweet and nice person. I swear, like I had never really, I don't remember me doing anything mean in elementary school or anything like that. Like I was a very nice person to people because I'm very like caring about others around me. Like I'll feel sad about someone else's situation and it has nothing to do with me. Like not one thing to do with me, but like I feel like people just deserve so much better and stuff like that. And so I feel like the more I interacted with people and like the more I like got into, you know, relationships and stuff, like people were just taking advantage of me. Yeah. And I was like, that it's not about to go. I feel like after a while, like the way I was I kept going in like middle school, I was like, that's not gonna happen. Like it's not going down like that. And that's when I literally became I became mean. Like I was just like, fine. So I feel like, and then I came into a point where I was like, if you can't accept me being mean on my mean side, then you can't accept me when I'm nice. Right? Like you just can't even, or like if you can't accept me being mean, you don't deserve me being nice. Yeah. And so that was just the way I was going with that. And I felt like in that case, initially when people meet me, they don't think I'm emotional. Right? They don't know that I can care or I can be just as affectionate, because it's just like I'm like real hardcore. Like it's like there's this like black heart. It's like a black foundation with certain people, and then it's like, oh, okay, now I can open up and like see, because I see you care about me and you care about our relationship and whatever friendship we're building. And I don't know, it was just, I never really expressed myself. I was just like, what they need to know about me for? Like, don't nobody care. I'm like, because I've always gone through something in my life, and like, I don't think I've ever really expressed it to people. Like I've written it down. I've told like I've spoken to family members, maybe I've spoken to my mom and stuff like that. And like, I don't know, no one ever really cared, even when I brought stuff up. Like even, just bringing up little things with people, especially in a relationship, like you bring up something to someone and they're like, they give you like an ass response. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? Like, I just boiled like my heart, or like all these like things that are going on with me, and then you just like dismiss it, or like you just like, oh, okay. And that was the favorite response from people. Oh, okay. Or like, okay. Oh, cool. Oh, that's crazy. And it's like those 1 to 3 word responses. And so I think after a while, like even when we would have conversations, and I've heard it before, like people would be like I don't engage in continuous conversation, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm a real like 1 word response person. Like it could probably be
like I could bring up the topic, and
you can bring up the topic, and I don't bring up bring up another topic or anything like that. Like, and even the topic you have, I might not, or like I'm probably am interested in it, but I'm probably afraid of what I'll say or like how I'll respond, like to show the real me, like to be comfortable enough to have that conversation. So I feel like that's what a lot of it was, to be quite honest. Like I was like, okay. And like no one ever really cared what I had to say. Like I'm outspoken, but I feel like no one ever cared. Like they didn't really inquire about it. Like
is that why you say that you don't have any friends? Or do you feel like you don't have as many friends?
That I have as many friends. Yeah, I think that's why. Like I don't, but I mean, a part of that, which I will explain to you, like I mainly had male friends, right? Like in high school, I mainly had male friends. I only had like my one best friend at that time, like, and that was it. But I feel like it was like every stage of like my education, I had a best friend. It was like the first best friend fucked me over. The second best friend fucked me over.
And these were all ladies.
These were all girls, yeah. And it was like after a while, I was just like, I just can't be friends with females anymore. Like, and then after that, I never found anyone that I could literally like grasp, like, you know, be a real, like I could consider them a best friend. There was no one, because I'm like, I can't deal with this no more. Like, you're not just going to be shitting on me and doing whatever you feel like. And I'm not saying, and the crazy part, like, for the first and second best friend relationship, I felt like it was pretty, I mean, you're still young, you know, it's quite a foundation, but there were people that have been best friends for years, so I'm just like, you know, confused about that. But I feel like now, yeah, I do say that, like, I tell him, I'm like, I don't have any friends, okay? Like, I don't have any friends. And, you know, the crazy part is like my co-teacher, she says the same thing, and like she'd be like, "Yeah, Gemise, you're my only friend." And I'd be like, "Yeah, that's it. We don't got no friends, right?" But
based on like your standard
of
friendship,
yeah,
I feel like your co-teacher meets those standards.
Yeah, because you know what it is. It's like, I don't know. I see friendships very, I guess, different. I don't know. Maybe it's the same, but like even if I haven't, like, even when you remember that our one whatever group individual in the group, like he expressed something very dear to him and at that time, but I didn't think that me and him were close.
Yeah.
Like we didn't, like, it's not like me and him were like hit each other up on the side and be like, yeah, let's go get coffee, or like let's go to the karaoke or something like that. I did not see us close, but then that's what ended that up, because you expressed something dear to me, but that didn't mean we were friends or like that we were close friends. For him, it felt that way, but I had never shared anything that deep with him.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I think there's a lot of little pieces to what I would call a friend, right? Like, it's like, am I expressing something to you that I've never expressed about myself before? Like, do you even know me? Like, aside from my name, aside from a favorite color, like, do you know me in depth? Like, do you know what I've been through? Do you know, like, the things that I've experienced? If you don't know any of that, then how can I call you a friend? Because that means you have to be able to explain to a stranger Yeah, I know Gemise. Gemise went through. Like, you would have to be able to say those things. If you really truly knew me, you would have to be able to express that.
Okay.
I don't. For me, that's just that's how I feel for it. Which is like why when you remember when we initially started being friends and talking, you were just like you said I was mean myself. Like,
I mean, you explained why you were mean, which
yeah,
I understood. Like, her meanness was a wall, right?
yeah,
But a wall that she apparently set up to see like who would really stick through and like stay friends with her. But for me, I thought that was counterintuitive because, like, that's assuming your intention, like if you really want to be friends with this person.
yeah,
But one thing that I sort of had difficulty understanding from her was like, you don't know this stranger. And I feel like there's effort that has to be shown between both parties.
yeah, of course.
But I feel like you would only place that much effort if you were interested in being friends with this person.
Yeah, definitely.
So I feel like your meanness was a wall. And yeah, I was just interested in you as a person. And I wanted to learn more about you. So I, individually speaking, just withstood your meanness.
Yeah. You said that like it was the worst thing in the world.
But I feel like not everybody
Yeah, not everybody's
would
gonna
have that type of mindset. And like they'll just be thrown off by like you being mean to them in the first place.
Yeah, I mean,
I was sort of thrown off, not gonna lie, but
yeah. But I think a huge part of me just doesn't care.
yeah.
Like, I feel like because I hold people to a high standard. Like, it don't matter who you are, like family, friends, like especially, and it's even worse for, I feel like, I mean, and I'll be honest, like I didn't hold guys to that same high standard. I think because my brain was always just like, you know, like they'll always do some stupid shit or some fucked up shit at some point. But like for females, it was like, you need to be here. Like, I don't know why you're like, you gossiping about me to this person, or like you not being honest and transparent. Like, there's certain things you should be able to do in a friendship, and it just wasn't for me. Like, and I was just tired of these like best friend having these downfalls of best friends and stuff like that. Yeah, like I don't say I have no friends, because it's like I don't think I have one person that I text that I'm like daily texting.
Yeah.
Like, female or male, like there is not one person that I'm sitting there like, yeah, like let me think about writing them right now. Like, it hasn't gotten to that point yet, except you. And I be texting about foolishness sometimes. Yeah. And that would be it. Or like my family. Like, that's literally how it goes. Yeah. And like, so the emotional side, like me showing my emotion was like it's a privilege to see that. Like, I don't, that's how I felt. Like, it's a privilege and an honor to see like me be emotional, because like that right there already tells you that like I care and I want to share this with you. Yeah. You know, things like that. And so yeah, that little moment with social media, he just wanted me to, because you had asked me about how I was feeling. And I think me going on social media and saying that obviously I didn't say exactly what I was angry about, but that I was hinting at something that I was angry about, and that I didn't share that with you first. I think that was the issue, and that was the problem. Yeah. You didn't almost break up with me. You broke up with me. Yeah. He was like, I'm done. You hung up the phone and everything. And mind you, I'm in class.
That was the quickest.
I'm in class.
Break up and then re-back together I've ever experienced.
You've ever experienced? Because I was just
literally in like the next 5 minutes, she called back and was like,
yeah, because you're not just gonna leave like that. Like, I mean, come on. It's not
really
going down like that. It's not going down like that.
Because we've talked about it so many times that
about
she said
opening up. I know
that she would open up.
It's not easy. It's not easy. And I feel like a big part of that is that, and I mean, you shared a lot with me, to be quite honest. I just think I wasn't ready to just, like, if I was going through something, to just jump out of nowhere and be like, yo, Hamed, like, you know, I like just immediately tell you. Like, that wasn't my first thought in my mind.
I mean, in my mind, like, I was like, I shared a lot with you. Like, you
did.
know a lot about me. I just want to also see that side of you.
Yeah. Which was fair. It was fair.
I guess just seeing that post that you had on Instagram. I was like, wow. So she can tell Instagram, but she can't tell me who's asking specifically what's going on.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, if you can't be open with me, why continue this relationship?
Yeah. You were really, really mad at me that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But luckily, I don't know when that switch clicked for you exactly.
I think it was a little while after that. Better. Yeah, I have. Man, I don't stop talking around him. I think I talk too much now. And he'd be like, I just like the sound of your voice.
It's nice to see that, because I have that context in the back of my mind. Like, she used to not speak a lot. But it's just nice to see that she's talking more and she feels comfortable enough to share most of her day with me. So it's just nice. Sit back, hear you speak, and then our day continues.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
You're annoying.
That's question number 5, right?
Yeah, speaking of emotion,
yeah.
Did you feel like you had to hide your emotional side with me?
Well, from my past relationships, I was told a lot. And from people, friends, family, like I was like really sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I did feel like I had to stifle, I would say, 60% of my emotional, I would say, what's a good word? My emotional bucket with you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just feel like I had to come to terms that, like, yes, being overbearing can turn somebody off. So I just had to find a way to like cope with my sensitivity in a different way.
Yeah.
To not be overbearing with you and then turn you off. So I had to find a way to like, find other ways to like release. And that was like video games, I was watching anime, that was, having the me time for me to like collect my day, reflect on something that might have pissed me off or like made me really sad.
Yeah.
And then I can come back to you, ready and calm and, accepting. So, yeah, to this day I feel like I've gotten better with it.
Mm-hmm.
And because we talk and we're able to describe what we're feeling in a situation, which we worked on a lot actually, that paid off in a way. So like if I'm really angry and upset, I may need a break, but I can, to the best of my ability, describe what I'm feeling. And I can tell you if I need some time off, or if I need a break a little bit, or maybe I just need a nap and then wake up the next day. So in a way I feel like, people were right, but I feel like it's always important to have a little bit of some emotional intelligence, some EQ in your system.
Yeah.
In order to, understand your partner and understand some cues that they might not be able to like say. Like if you look upset, and keep in mind some people do have like resting bitch face, resting asshole face, and they may look angry but they're not angry. But if you know that that person's behavior is off, or they don't seem to be as enthusiastic or lively one day and then the next day they're not, happy or just okay, it's important to have some emotional, intelligence to be able to determine that. Ask the question, not to come off too overbearing, but like, are you okay? What's up?
Yeah.
Has anything happened? And if they say they're fine, then it's unfortunate, but you have to allow that person to, be or get accustomed to what they're feeling. And, if they're actually fine, believe them. And just keep the idea of if you need anything, you can always talk to me. I'm here, and I care about you. That side of you, just make sure they see that. So just in case they need to have a moment with you, they can remember you saying that, and then that situation may be able to relieve itself in the future.
Yeah, I think you're very in tune to, like, even when I switch immediately, I'm like, damn, like, can I just get a
So it is. So what I be telling you is true.
What?
But like, you just be petty.
Did I just be petty about it?
Like when
like
you switch.
Yeah, I mean, but it'd be like, it could just be like, or when you're like, your favorite thing used to be, oh, I feel like you're low energy. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what? I just be like, all right, like, I'm done. It's like, yeah, I have low energy, I guess. And it probably was me having low energy, but like, for me to acknowledge that was like, okay, like, well, if I do have low energy, what are you going to do about it? Or like, obviously you're going to want to find out where it's coming from.
Yeah.
But what if it's just coming from nowhere? Like, what if I'm just,
Yeah,
so,
I mean.
So it was like.
Low energy was me trying to find out if you're okay or not. If you just said, I have low energy, that can just be from the day.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be a specific source. And if you tell me that, I won't bother you. I'll probably just, cook something, give it to you, leave you alone. Let you watch your, trash TV or play your games. Let you be one just with yourself.
Yeah.
So you can, have your you time.
True.
Yeah, like I feel like there's certain situations where I can't really ask you, what's going on if you feel a type of way with something. But I do try to remind myself to give you your you time. All you have to say, I have low energy. Then I'll leave you alone. Then we do our things separately, and then when you want attention again, you
come and bother you.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's just how life goes.
Yeah. You got anything else to add? I think this has been our shortest episode, and it might be easy for you to edit. Not too many hiccups. Hopefully the audio's fine. And then we just gotta get clips out.
Yeah. You wanna ask the very last?
Yeah, of course. Question? This is gonna be our last question, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any other thing to ask you. I mean, of course, it might be something that pops up later on. We still have a whole journey to go through. Another insecurity might pop up, or another moment might pop up.
Very true. And I mean, if you guys are interested in a part 2, we can definitely try to find more questions that we can.
But you gotta let us know.
Yeah, definitely. You gotta share the video, comment, subscribe,
all that good stuff.
Hit the bell. Be a part of Naughty Gang, Naughty Squad. Get notified. But yeah, this is our last question. This is from both of us, so we're gonna share. Are you comfortable with the way things now? With the way things are now?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I feel like, just talking about all of like the insecurities that we've kind of already spoke about, like that I've expressed. That you inquired about and things like that. I feel like I'm comfortable with where this is and where I am now. Yeah. Like, I mean, of course I don't like certain things that's on my body and stuff like that. Yeah. But like, I feel like because I'm with you and I know like that you accept me the way that I am, regardless of anything, that I feel better about, just every little thing. But I also don't want that to come off as like, because I'm with you is because I'm accepting it. Yeah. But it's like, it's also teaching me that, I don't like to say this, but that if we don't work out, that I can still accept certain things about myself. Yeah, of course. Right? Like I think that is, I'm learning to accept that statement. Like, just that I'm still accepting of it as it goes on. Because I also feel like even with the previous situation like before you, like he did accept, my eczema and my keloids and stuff, and I think that was also a kind of a like little indicator that like made me realize that like someone could like this can be acceptable, like there's nothing wrong with it. So I feel like I'm gradually getting on the way where I'm accepting it, or I'm either at a point where I don't feel disgusted by it. That if I do want to change it, that I know I can. It's just me making that move. Or if if I don't want to, then I'll just keep it the way it is. Like it's not that huge of a deal to me. And I feel like in our relationship, like we're at a pretty good point, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at after the 6 months, the grace period.
Definitely the grace period. I mean, we're definitely trekking towards our 3rd year being together, and I feel like, God forbid that we don't work out, but my motivation in treating you this way is to, I've always wanted to like change your experiences. Yeah, I had not so good past relationships, and I just wanted to show you that you're allowed to be loved, you're allowed to be catered for. You're allowed to have a partner who's an actual partner, who can listen to what you don't like in life, try their best to, find a solution, talk, communicate, and just for you to remember all the good qualities that we had, right?
Yeah.
And so as long as that stays with you, that'll always stay with me, and then we can use that to venture off. That's if that reality is true in that sense.
Reality in another timeline of life.
But right now, we're actually like, feel like we're in cloud nine. We're comfortable at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. I think we're still like, learning to live together. Just,
We're just, right now it's like new experiences.
Yeah.
That we're trying to get accustomed to, but I feel like
that's pretty much
with our relationship, the first 6 months has been mostly of the heavy load, and we bicker, but it's like lighthearted now.
Like about little things.
Yeah,
but it'd be like a quick bounce back. Yeah. Like it could be something
we roast each other, we cut each other's ass.
Yeah, all the time. But then it'd be like 5 minutes later, it'd be like, yo, what's up, Jen? Or like you hugging up on me, or like we hugging up on each other, and I'm like, okay, cool. I think we're pretty much good now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like as long as there's lighthearted, banter and fun, that's what keeps the relationship going. But yeah, I feel like
he said what keeps it going. we also do a lot of things together.
Yeah.
We're also interested.
One big thing
was
the
same things.
Gaming. Like I feel like we communicated a lot through gaming. And we owe that to Call of Duty. Call of Duty was like, it held a lot of our like good moments in that one game. And I look forward to
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's good to, and like, I feel like there's old school ladies that bash nerdy guys, but like, when you have somebody who you can like play games with, that can be any game. It could be a board game.
Yeah.
But like, thankfully we have video games. Video games can range from like different things and can teach you a lot of lessons, build teamwork, build communication. Like video games is out here. So if you're fortunate enough to have a partner that loves to play video games, loves to, get active on the sticks.
Yeah.
Don't take that person for granted, because I feel like with that one thing that helped carry us throughout most of the quarantine, and that's literally almost a year ago now.
Yeah.
When it first started.
And I feel like also just like being interested in what the other person probably likes as well, or at least trying something out. Like you're trying to get me to. He's been trying to get me to watch anime for the longest. I tried one kind of.
Yeah, I tried to show her Death Note. She didn't finish it.
I didn't finish because I was going through school, and then I've been going through. There's just always something popping up that doesn't allow me to just like relax. But I feel like even getting interested in like something that your partner does too. Like the ladies out there that like they're like sitting there and they're like, oh, he just plays the game all day. Like try playing if you can, and if he's open to it, like play with him.
And there's so many different genres of video
games. Like even if he's interested in playing like Sims. If you, like, there's different
Mario Kart.
Yeah, like any little thing, and with the whole systems that's like out right now, like I feel like whatever you find interesting, like just see if he's willing to like let you play with him. Like it's, you don't have to sit there and like be a fly on the wall or like like you don't have to do that, because I feel like I feel like a big part of it, which I don't know, it's like, you know, guys do play like, you know, 2K and stuff like that. Like 2K, of course, you know, I never really was interested in 2K, but I still like allowed myself to like play it a little bit. And then I was like, yeah, this game is rigged. And so I just like, I'm a very big on like shooting games. So like I'll play any shooting game. I'll play, you know, there's certain games I'm like really hype about. Like, and he's hype about them, and I'm like, okay, I'll play with you. It's like, all right. I'm like, okay, cool. But like, I don't know, that's a big part of it. Like, don't be cutting his system off in the middle of a game. Don't be throwing it out the window. Please don't. Stop doing that. Just stop. Like, just take the time to like find something.
I mean, you're gonna need some muscles to throw with
your computer
out the window.
I will, because me and her have issues. Me and her have problems. God. But yeah, I feel like that's pretty much like just it. Like, we're in a pretty good position right now. Yeah. He has a few complaints, but he'll get over
them. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just my main focus right now is to, you know, get more money. And more money, I feel like 75, 80K can let me do a lot of things.
That's our goal. That's what we're reaching.
It
Doesn't
have to be no 6
individually.
Digits, like, for us to reach there, I feel like, especially with the way tax is like whooping our asses right now. Because if I had like no tax, I think I would be good with 47.
We would both be set.
Yeah, like that, like 47 is really good. But we don't live in that world, so unfortunately, we have to deal with the hands that we're dealt.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, I'm working in IT. I'm trying to get more money. If anybody's interested, I can see if there's an opportunity for you in IT.
Look, he's so sweet.
Gemise does
education. I'm a teacher. Yeah, I teach pre-K right now. I'm going to be teaching kindergarten next school year. I adore it. I mean, I have my moments where I'm just like, you know, what the hell am I doing?
These kids be wild.
Yeah, they be wild. But they're also very smart and like little tiny adults. Like, people don't get kids. Like, they don't understand the full capacity of, you know, what they can do. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you're interested, you want to teach, I can like help you get there. I mean, I don't really. You have to want to be a teacher to want to teach. Like, you have to want to be one. You can't just be like,
for me.
Like, you can't just walk into like the hallway one day and go, yeah, like I want to be a teacher. No. Yeah. Like, you have to really want it, because it's this education system is terrible. Yeah. So like, you gotta figure out what you want to do. But I love it. I don't mind it. I mean, I don't get paid what I should be getting paid. So that's why I'm aiming to make what I need to be making, right? Yeah. So it's fine. It's whatever. I can't complain. I do complain.
All right. Do you have anything else to add?
No, that's it. I feel like this was a very, you know,
it was a
pretty
nice
good third episode, and it was a change of space. If you've watched any of our previous episodes, which you need to go do,
please give us some more views, man.
Yeah, and likes and subscribe,
dislike, just something.
Mainly just become part of our
community.
You know, community, our KTCG radio community, because I feel like as time goes on, like there will be more things that like we talk about either between us or between other people, and like we're always trying to figure out like what other people are interested in and stuff like that. And we already expressed like this space is just for us to just simply have conversations. And so like I feel like just having the conversation alone is like good enough to do. Like no matter who you are, your background, your level of expertise, like you can still engage in these conversations.
Of course.
But yeah, I think that's what this mainly going for. Like, we just want you to become a part of the community, you know? Like, come on to our side so that we can help you, help us, help we.
Of course.
We, not Gotta put that out there.
And another, I guess, a side note would be like, I don't think it's a side note, but yeah, our next episode would be the traditional woman versus the new age woman.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're interested in joining that conversation, we want it to be mainly women since it's a topic about women. And it's going to be a reactionary podcast. So you're going to listen to a statement and you're going to agree with that. So if you're interested, you can email us at ktcgradio@gmail.com and we'll be happy. We accept anybody, strangers, as long as you are transparent, because it's the people that make the podcast.
And we are very transparent in our conversations.
Yeah.
Like, no one has held back. Yeah. And I appreciate that from, like, all of our guests so far. Like, everyone's been quite honest and, you know, quite open about what's going on in their own experience. Mm-hmm. And they've been respectable of other people's experiences in the room as well. Mm-hmm. So to our previous guests, we appreciate you.
Definitely. And so with that, I think we can end the episode here.
Yep.
And don't forget to like, comment,
follow, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
Like, Apple Podcasts too, right?
Yeah. We just got Apple Podcasts. So
we on here, bro.
We on here. We just need your help so that we can help each other.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what we can do yet. You just have to see the potential, all right?
Definitely. And stay tuned. Okay. Where's my mouth? Oh, I went to the second screen.